paralytic, my child. So whenever there are those voices out there, you have to say, who's the one who's going to call me his child and who's going to love me in that way? And that's the biggest voice and the strongest voice. And this is the thing is now with going into what the children are learning with the Passover, he is our Passover, our Pascha. Passover, we Greeks hold on to the original meaning, which is literally when death passed over these beautiful people that were with Moses who ended up believing to be freed from Pharaoh. You and I are not only meant to have our paralysis taken away, but we are meant to be freed from any Pharaoh that can be over us. We're meant to also be freed of any plagues that can come upon us and also within us. Because the fathers say most of those plagues are consequences of sins, and a lot of times they can be within us. But as you see the plagues are coming upon everybody at the beginning, and then as the Hebrew people are believing and following Moses, you see that the plagues are going only on the Egyptians who are under a Pharaoh, but the Hebrew people are being slowly taken away and saved. And so they didn't receive all the plagues. And finally there was the plague, the 9th plague was 3 days of darkness. And our Lord will be in the tomb for 3 days for you and for me. The Lord will also have 3 hours of darkness on that cross. And if there is anyone who has picked up his cross for us, obviously it's the Lord. And it's as he told that paralytic, pick up your bed and show them that you walk. Our Lord picked up his cross, died on it, but showed us the resurrection through it. And you and I wear that cross with great faith and love. Because it is now a blessing. That which was at one time shame and death became for us a blessing and everlasting life. That's the precious and life-giving cross. And then as the Hebrew people were then told after the 3 days of darkness, they said, finally an angel of death is coming and I want to save you from that death. And I want to make sure, and after this happens, the Pharaoh will leave you and the people. Put the blood of a lamb on the doorpost. And that blood of the lamb is fulfilled in Jesus Christ, who spilled his blood on the wood of the cross, and the same blood that you and I receive in Holy Communion. St. Gregory Palamas, whom we celebrate today, who at the beginning of his great struggle saw the blessed and beloved John the Apostle, and he says, you'll be under my protection. Isn't that amazing to see the John? And then at the end, when he suffered so much for the Lord, but held on to the truth, saw St. John Chrysostom appear to him. And St. John Chrysostom said, to the heights, to the heights. And St. Gregory Palamas fell asleep in the Lord and went to the heights with St. John Chrysostom up into the heavens. We had in this parish somebody who just lost a loved one. This week, she lost her uncle. And she said, the last words from my uncle's mouth were my father's name, who's already fallen asleep. And she goes, I can't believe that my father was given the blessing and the ability to greet my uncle and bring him into heaven. Pascha, Passover, is all about that no longer do we have to fear death, for there is no longer death, but we go straight into the life of Christ. And that's what the kids are going to get today, and that's my Bible lesson, okay? All right. That's enough. Okay. Now,